Hello there, this is an older game from Reiner Knezia. This is Dr. Reiner Knezia, who's made over 660 games. I would say most of his games are abstract games, and this is an abstract game. Fantasy Flight, so people who have seen or know about Fantasy Flight from recent years will know this is obviously a very old logo. In fact, I hadn't seen it before I'd seen this game, and additionally an older thing for Atlanteon. So I can give you an example. I want Fantasy Flight to hand. There's a sort of newer Atlanteon logo, which is now Asmodee UK. So it's apparently 12 plus. I think it's just trying to get decent players, I guess, which is a bit harsh to think. It is 2 players. It's 20 to 60 minutes. I think 20 minutes. 25 is more realistic at the outset. Rulebook. It's in multiple languages in this instance. And I find that's not an issue. Again, the name is in the title, so I don't need to have the rulebook visible. So you're going to lay the pieces out. That's why the box is the shape it is. Still a fair amount of space going on, and this kind of fits together okay. But the point is, you have, and I do like the artwork. There's not many games I really care about the artwork. I think it's Fantasy Flight doing that. So we have the light team and we have the dark team. Aim in the game is basically to potentially get the most points, but actually you're trying to capture the opponent. So you take out the relevant tiles for your side, the same for the opponent. You choose who starts, and what happens is, say the white side goes first. What they're doing is they're going to be placing out one of these towers. Then the opponents can do the same, or they can say place out a black tower, and then say a white tower. Now, you can win one of 3 ways. You either want to be surrounding your opponent's king, which looks like one of those things. So when I mean surrounding, let's say, this one here. You need to be powering or overpowering it. So this is basically strength. So they might have an 8, and you need to get, say, a 4. You can win that way. Now, this has no kind of strength. And I tell you why strength's important, because you also want to be empowering these guys. If you can empower those guys, you can win instead. And if you can capture all 3, you can also win. But to capture this, you want the lowest value. You must have something of your size on there. So you could choose to put it in the corner, but then they surround it first. And the final thing is if you've placed out all your tiles. So if you can place out all your tiles, then you can also gain it as well. But to place it out, you have to do something whereby, you're controlling something. So I'll just check something for you. Yep, so if when you basically play your tile, you'll be placing one of these down. So you could win by placing all your tiles down to win. So as I said, by surrounding the king, so the opponent's king, outnumbering it basically, capturing 3 of these, or placing 11 of these markers down, and your king tile. So again, you might choose to play your king tile later. And you might want to play it twice, one either side in terms of who starts, and the person who gets the best score over those 2 games wins. In terms of this style of game, in fact, I don't know the strategy. That's apparently the solvable strategy, or it's a solvable game, which means if you do a certain thing, then you're guaranteed to win, or potentially could win if you follow that through. Having said that, I've chosen not to look that up. If anything, I'm happy to try and discover it. It's quite nice to know that there's an extra puzzly element to it. People I've played it with, some people have enjoyed it, some people it's not their kind of thing, but I don't think you need to think too far ahead, to be honest. It doesn't take too long to play, and as 2 players games go, I quite like that duration. It's a thin box. It's not the sort of classic ones that I think people are conforming to these days, which I frequently talk about, and I'll be getting on to reviewing many of those games soon. And in terms of replayability, I think it's got some, like I said, it's until I have figured out a strategy, and I guess enough players I've played with want to keep playing it, I've got nothing against it. Yeah, so that's Atlanteon. Some people say there's not too much of a theme to it, and I can agree what they're saying, but I feel that there's, just because they're underwater doesn't mean this power means anything. But I feel a bit more immersed in it for some reason than other things. I won't get into my Piscean star sign, or just the fact that I love scuba diving and stuff like that. But that is Atlanteon, and all happy to let you discover this one. So there it is, and carrying weight underwater, this has been easy to carry on a bicycle, and it's 375 grams. So less stuff to jettison there. So thank you very much.